New quest, the sword and the quill.
Is it much further?
We'll reach Sukdal shortly, if those woodcutters by the forest weren't making it up. They looked pretty frightened.
Maybe they were just in awe of your beauty.
My, you've got a silver tongue, eh?
Not that I want to contradict, but I think there might be another reason. Sigismund is riding roughshod over the country, so the people are cautious. I can't blame them.
If it was only Sigismund. The devil is just as bad.
I thought we'd sorted all this out. He's no saint, not by any means. But he is an ally of the king, and my friend.
Who is?
The Dry Devil.
Lord Hynek of Kunstadt, Burgrave of Znojmo Castle, a great warrior, and at this moment a guest of the Lord of Sukdal.
Why do they call him the Dry Devil, anyway?
You can ask him yourself when you see him.
I don't know why he's dry, but I know exactly why they call him Devil.
Can you give it a rest? I don't need you insulting him before I get a word in.
Great. So I'm to keep my mouth shut, eh?
Say what you like, just don't go bugging the devil. At least for a while. That's all I'm asking.
What is this Sukdal place we're heading to?
The fortress of Lord Pisek, Mint Master to King Wenceslas himself.
My word! And will a man of his stature see us?
We'll find out soon enough. But I hope Dry Devil vouches for
Where are you
us.
going?
And
Lord
what's your
Pisek
plan
ain't
after
gonna
that?
see ya. He's got an important
We have to
visit.
save Sir Hans.
Don't worry, we'll get to that. If it's not too late.
Hopefully it won't be. He's a noble, so they'll ransom him.
I don't know. His uncle has a reputation for being a pinch purse. You know him, Henry?
We're gonna stand up for
Yeah.
Hanush.
Well, I don't know where you heard that from. He was always kind to me.
Oh, but that's all by the by anyway. I intend to wage war, not parley. And if I know Dry Devil, he's of the same mind.
Won't it be dangerous for Sir Hans?
It will, and for us too. But I'm sure Lord Capon is expecting that. He rode to Trotsky as a messenger to von Berghoff. I reckon he must have had some idea what might happen.
Okay. Looks like we're following.
Long last.
What's this? The gate's wide open.
Watered, fed, saddled, first thing. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Greetings. What's your business here?
The blessing of our Lord Jesus Christ, sir. I expect you're Peter Pisek. I'm Jan Žižka of Trocnov. I have an important message for your guest, Hynek of Kunstadt. Actually, for you two.
A message for the Dry Devil.
Well now, Captain Žižka and young Henry.
Margrave Jobs.
sir.
I'm afraid your friend Hinnock is no longer here. I'd love to know what brought you two together. But also, what the hell happened to you?
Well, sir,
Unfortunately, I'm otherwise occupied at the moment. Get some rest. You're clearly in dire need of it. We'll talk tomorrow. Sir Peter, please, take care of our guests.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Sir Pitter.
Let's go!
He's all we needed.
You must be tired and hungry after your journey. Follow me.
You have a very fine fortress, my lord.
I'm glad you think so.
Mud.
You don't?
To be honest, I'd much prefer to go back to Krush. Knife in the
Talk to this dude in the banquet hall. Oh, we got a whole new map. Okay, okay. Do I have my horse? He didn't say no. My horse. All right. Fantastic. Peter of Pishik.
Eat whatever takes your fancy, my friends. You look like you've had a hard journey.
Ah, the journey wasn't so bad, especially compared to what came before it.
Where are you coming from, anyway?
From Trusky.
That's Sir Otto von Burgo's domain. What were you doing there, pray tell?
We were in a castle cellar, talking to an old acquaintance.
My God, how did that happen?
Simple. I'm in the service of Lord Sokol of Lamberg, same as Dry Devil, and I had a job to do around Trusky, if you get my meaning.
Absolutely. But it wasn't much of a success, was it?
Actually, it was pretty much. We even took a castle.
Well, more like a small stronghold.
And we nearly got von Berghoff, too.
And what prevented you from completing that righteous deed?
He was saved by Prague forces.
Markvart von Aulis.
I know that name. He's the commander of the Prague militia.
Exactly. And they came with him.
But why would the Praguers send forces to Trusky?
Ah, but they didn't, sir. They weren't sent to Trusky, but here. They just stopped off to visit von Berghoff because he was in a tight situation, and they took him along with them.
Here? To my fortress? Christ almighty.
Not just here, but everywhere where King Wenceslas still has supporters.
And that's also one of the reasons why we're here. We came to warn you. It seems Sigismund's run out of patience. He's going to break the truce and finish off the rebellion while he still has time. So he's convened all his followers in Kuttenberg with von Berghoff and von Orlitz in the lead. It's just a matter of time before the battles begin.
We've got to secure the fortress quickly, stock up on supplies, reinforce the guard and drill the troops. But I'm grateful to you, friends. Wait here. I'll have the best wine I have brought to you. Bring that red from Burgundy right away.
You might want to save some for Jobst.
I'll gladly risk his displeasure for this occasion.
It seems we both have the same opinion of Jobst, eh?
Well, that is, I wouldn't dream of disrespecting the Margrave. Where do you know him from?
I don't really know him as such. We merely know each other due to my original trade.
Yes, I've heard of you. They say you used to be, well...
Yes, a bandit. It's no secret, sir. King Wenceslas even put a price on my head once. And Catherine here, she...
I'm sure that's of no interest to the noble gentleman.
He
And
was
anyway,
about to snitch on
if
her.
anyone knows Jobst well,
She's a
it's
thief.
Henry here. You two are quite on friendly terms, aren't you?
Oh, the friendliest. We know each other well.
Aye, we know each other well. We recently had talks together in Ratai.
Anyway, we're straying a little from the point. As I said, one of the reasons we came here is to warn you. And the other reason goes by the name of Hinek, the Dry Devil. Where is he?
Well, he was here for a while, at my invitation.
He's no longer here?
Was here? So he's gone?
Where did he go?
I couldn't say. He didn't part quite on the best of terms.
That's quite normal for him. Don't take it to heart, sir.
I had no issue with him. It's more about Margrave Jobst. When he met Hinek, he was somewhat disturbed.
Disturbed? Why?
Well, let's say, after an exchange of opinions, they agreed it would be best if they saw as little of each other as possible. I'm sure if you're interested in the details, the Margrave will explain it to you himself.
I'd be very surprised.
What was Dry Devil doing here, anyway?
Waging war, if you can call it that. He ambushed 3 of Sigismund's supply caravans and a troop of humans in these parts alone. It made me a little nervous. If anyone found out he was hiding out here, in the end, it was Jobst himself who sorted it out. He told Hinek he had to stop because he was interfering with his plans.
What do you think about all of this, sir? Sigismund, Wenceslas, Jobst?
What kind of question is that? Do you doubt my loyalty to our king?
No, that's not how I meant it.
Henry here sometimes forgets to weigh his words, sir.
That's all right. To be frank, we all know that King Wenceslas isn't the great man his father Charles was. But that is the way of the world. History is full of kings who didn't know how to wear the crown. The blood running in their veins is more important than what's in their heads. He's not a capable ruler. What of it?
Damn.
In my opinion, kingship is above all a guarantee of divine peace. A sovereign's greatest asset is his legitimacy.
But what if the sovereign is truly bad? If he's mad, say.
I'll put it this way. Nobody lives forever, lad.
Least of all bad kings. Isn't that right, sir?
Okay, I see what he's saying. It's better to have a decent man who is an incompetent king than a competent king who is a terrible person. I think that's what he's saying.
So, what about us? What do we do now?
The Margrave will certainly want to talk to you, but the earliest he'll be back at the fortress will be tomorrow. I hope until then, you won't refuse my offer of a bed for the night.
Just an offer. So you'd let us leave if we wanted to.
Well, the Margrave did ask me to look after you until he returns,
Okay.
for the sake of security.
Looks like we're going to get a bed.
Security.
Good question. Yours, I expect.
Ah, so be it. I couldn't take another step anyway.
Sir, there's still one more thing we came for. Lord von Bergov is holding my lord, Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, hostage. And we also have to warn Jobst's ally, John of Liechtenstein. Do you know anything about those two?
Sorry, I don't. I didn't even know von Bergau had come here until you told me. And I've heard nothing about Lord Liechtenstein.
Which is actually good news. If he'd been caught and executed, the word would be all over the region. So there's a strong hope he's alive.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Lord Pisek.
It's the least I could do, lad. My fortress is open to all the king's supporters, even if that does make it a bit crammed.
I suppose I ought to get to bed. Where can I sleep, sir?
I had some chambers prepared for all of you. Yours is right here in the palace. Cross that corridor and go up the stairs. You can't miss it. There's a garland above the door. But first, eat your fill. All of you. And maybe you'd like to bathe before going to bed. I told my servant Susanna to prepare baths for you. The baths are in the little house in the courtyard, right next to the well.
Polite way of saying you stink.
What happened at Nebakov after the Praguers took the fortress?
You're asking me?
No, of course. I know you weren't there, but maybe you heard something. You know what goes on, right? I only remember that diabolical shot. Nothing after that.
That must have been really terrible. I heard the shot all the way from Troskowitz. I'm afraid all I know is when they took the fortress, von Aulitz's men hanged everyone they found there. I'm sorry, but most of ours got left behind there.
There was this healer called Clara there.
A girl of yours?
No, I don't know her well.
No, I don't know her well. But she was very kind to me. But I suppose now I'll never see her again.
Poor girl. May God forgive her sins and grant her eternal rest. You have to live every day like it's going to be your last. That's all you can do in our trade.
Do you know if Michael, the adjutant, survived?
I'm afraid I do know. Zhishka said the shot killed him on the spot.
Did you know him?
Aye. He was a good man. He saved my life once.
I didn't know that. Do you want to talk about it?
Not now, thanks. Some other time, maybe.
Thank you. That's all.
I'm sorry I can't tell you more.
No, that's all right. Thanks. What do you think of Lord Pisek?
He's a real man, at least. Noble and good-mannered. But I hope his age has weakened his hearing. You should be ashamed of yourself asking about him when he's right next to us.
What? Okay. I mean, they give you the option.
What do you plan to do now?
What do you think? Have a proper meal and then go and lie down?
Hard DC. Let's try for it.
Oh. May I join you?
At least we'd only take up one of Lord Pisek's beds instead of two. But I'd like to get some rest. And I advise you to do the same. We have lots of work ahead of us.
Okay, so we passed the check, but it was a no.
Any orders, Captain?
Now, eat and sleep. I'm not sure how long they'll treat us this well, so make the most of it.
Fair enough.
How are you?
Much better with hot food in my belly. But a pitcher of wine would be the best remedy.
Don't overdo it, though. Better to lose one eye than drink yourself blind.
How are our stats? Does Henry need to eat? Oh, he does. Not need to eat. Never mind. 93. He needs to sleep. Energy 50. He's fine on food for the moment. I wonder, can I take some of this food? Is it stealing? It's not stealing. Okay, yeah. Gamekeeper's letter. Okay. Yeah, this is not stealing. Let's take some. We can also feed this meat to Mutt. So we will definitely take some. By some, I mean all the good stuff. What else? Cheese gives you a lot of hunger. Let's take the cheese. And what else? What's this? Copper plate. That's stealing. Who's this guy? Right. Imagine there must be food on the table we could take.
Oh, not this again.
Bread is great. Yep. Take all this. We can feed it to Mutt, or I can eat it myself. We could dry this cheese too in a smokehouse if we find it to make it last longer. That's stealing. Stealing. And I think that's it. Okay, that's good. We got food.
Excuse me.
Let's find our bed. Where are we going? What does it say? Have a bath. Okay, let's definitely do that. Go and get some sleep. Okay, so behind me somewhere is a bath. Imagine it must be outside.
silly doggy.
Bathhouse.
What can I do for you?
Show me your wares.
Oh. Okay.
What can you do? Maybe next time then, sir.
Lord Pisek said we could have a bath here?
Yes, sir. I prepared the hot water and fragrant oils myself. And I'll wash your clothes as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You needn't thank me, sir. And now, if you'll allow me, I'll help you undress.
Kind master, eh, doggy?
Okay. You can't delay. No time to lose. Whoa, they're forcing me to go to sleep. Okay, something's gonna happen tonight when he's sleeping. The quest is forcing you to go to sleep. Okay, that's very obvious. Maybe this dude isn't on the up and up and he's gonna attack them at night. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, it doesn't even let you decide when to wake up.
So you got your revenge? Father, did it make you feel any better? It did. So what comes next?
Mark von Aulitz is next. Then von Berghoff.
And is that what you really want, son? No matter how many people you kill, you can't change what's happened.
It's what I want.
Are you sure, Henry?
Oh, that was kind of cool.
What's
Level up.
happening? Why are you waking me up? You again?
Yes.
The bath
The
maid.
Margrave is calling for you, sir. You and the other gent.
You mean Zizka?
I suppose. I don't know what his name is, but he's waiting down in the courtyard. I'm just on my way to tend to his wounds.
What about this person? Catherine.
And what about Catherine?
That's the good wife who arrived with you? I don't know. I think I saw her with our captain.
Oh, very well. I'll go now.
Before you go, I brought you something for breakfast. In case you're hungry.
Oh, so nice.
Have I been too bold?
No, definitely not. Thank you. Do you need anything else?
No, sir.
So, why are you standing
Exactly.
here?
You haven't dismissed me, sir.
Oh. You need no formalities.
I'm not a nobleman. You don't have to stand on ceremony with me.
I do, since you're a guest of the Margrave, sir. May I leave?
Oh,
I?
okay.
That is... yes, of course.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Maybe we should offer a quest later. That was interesting. Okay, something's been changed. They stripped me down naked. Oh, God, dude. I have to figure out what armor I was using again. All right, we'll be right back.
I'm sorry.
Looks like we need to meet him down here somewhere. Where do they want me to go? Find Zijik. Oh. Quest tipper.
You see, meine Dame, we aren't idle here. My men train like that every...
Lo, the worth Henry of Skalitz. I'm just holding a discussion with the captain here about his desolate fortress.
That's not how I'd put it. In the end, as mein Großvater said, the strength of a castle is measured by its garrison. And mine is one of the best in the region. What do you say, lad? Am I right?
Your garrison is impressive.
Aye. I have to admit, the soldiers here look pretty fearsome. I wouldn't want to come up against them in battle.
I get the feeling you'd run instead of facing them, though. Eh?
Leave him be, meine Dame. Nobody with any sense would take on my men.
I'd take him
Now
on.
look here, I was just being polite. I'd happily take on your men.
Ach ja?
Do you fancy yourself a knight?
Come, Junge. We'll stuff your clothes with straw, so you don't come to any harm, and let you have a go against one of ours. Pullcock, come here! The first to bleed loses.
What a Dave. What are we doing? Oh, we're fighting with... Okay. Hello. I'm getting owned. There you go, Master Strike.
Fuck you!
Okay, we won. We beat Polcock. Well, now what? I guess I leave?
Excellent, Henry.
It was nothing.
Gut gemacht. You have my admiration. You really are good with the sword. I hope my idiots learned a thing or two from you.
You should receive some kind of reward for that feat.
And what rewards would you have in mind?
I was rearranging our saddlebags, and I remembered I took a small memento from Trotsky.
Oh. What is it?
A hunting crossbow. I even think it's von Berghoff's. I was meaning to sell it, but it might serve you better.
My word. Thank you.
Ooh, Catherine coming through.
I better go and find Zizka. The Margrave
Decorated
is expecting
field
us.
crossbow.
I saw Zizka next to the stables. There was some girl hanging around him.
Do you want to come with us to see Jobst?
Not really. I'll go and pack my things instead. I have a feeling we'll have to leave soon.
Why is she
Why?
covered in blood?
A woman's intuition.
She's covered in blood. I guess she got too close to the fighting. Let's see what we got. It's gold tier, level 3. Yeah, it does more damage than my current one. Oh, it looks nice. It's colored. It looks like black and white. Yeah, let's use this. Cool.
And this scar. It's strange, crooked, like a letter from a fancy book.
This. I fell off the battlements at Laxenburg Castle.
Lord above! From the walls! And were you conquering or defending that castle, sir?
Okay, we found them.
Well, depends on how you look at it. We were storming a wine cellar, you see.
Ah, I do see. Only maybe you shouldn't go around telling people that, sir. It doesn't sound too heroic.
So what? Heroes like to have a drink too, now and again. I've got loads of scars from real battles anyway. Like here, on my other arm. A groom hit me with a crossbow nearby Yitchin. The boy was nearly 15.
Somebody's screaming?
Poor fella.
That's how I lost my
Oh, they're
son.
fighting.
Someone shot him?
No, he shot someone else.
Ah, I see.
And what about your eyebrow, sir? It seems a bit crooked. Do you have a scar there too?
Aye. I nearly lost my eye.
Also in battle?
No, I was a lad. I made a bet with some friends that I could run all the way down the Devil's Slope without stopping once. That's what we called this one really steep hill. Once you started down it, you either had to run all the way to the bottom, or tumble all the way there.
And you went tumbling.
I did nothing of the sort. I ran down. But as I was celebrating, prancing about like a deer, I tripped on a root. I landed on my head and cracked it open on a stump. An inch or two off, and I'd have lost that eye.
Jesus.
How are things, Captain?
What do you think? I've seen better days. And you, youngster?
Me? Well, considering what we've been through, surprisingly good.
Just wait until you've been through as much as I have.
Nah, don't say that. You still have your strength. A real man of iron.
A damned rusty one, I'd say. But enough chat. I see Jobst has returned to the fortress.
That's why I'm here. They're expecting us. I wanted to take Catherine along too, but she said she'd rather get the horses ready.
She's doing the right thing, and you better run ahead and greet the Margrave. I'll join you shortly.
Are you expecting trouble?
I always expect trouble. Jobst has turned coats more times than I can count. And the way things are these days, I'd rather have horses standing by, even on a visit to my parents.
What about that dry devil of yours? Did you find out where he went?
No, nobody asked him where he was going, but it seems they're hoping it's as far away as possible. I'm not surprised. If I know him, he wasn't the ideal guest.
At least Jobst might know where he is.
He might. To be honest, that's the only reason for talking to him.
Should I really go and see Jobst on my own? He's a Margrave, though.
So what? You already know him better than I do. You met him in Ratai. I only know what I've heard about him.
Well, all right, but he sent for us both. How's it going to look?
A bit odd, I suppose. But you must understand, I'm doing this for our benefit. The less time I spend with a Margrave in one room, the better.
All right, then. I'll be going, then.
Okay. Go to the banquet hall for the audience.
Careful.
Henry.
I'm assuming this guy was in the
Where's
first game.
Captain Zizka?
I don't remember him.
He got held up.
I received a report that von Bergov's banner is flying in the camp of my dear cousin Sigismund, so I assume the negotiations at Trotsky didn't go too smoothly.
No, sir. I don't have good news for you, I'm afraid.
Well, good or bad, I'm sure you have plenty to report. So what happened with von Bergov at Trotsky?
He betrayed us.
Bergov had no interest in our message. By the time we finally arrived at Trotsky, he'd already long since made a deal with Sigismund. But of course, he didn't tell Sir Hans and me anything. And on top of that, he used us to do his dirty work. Everything went to hell in the end, and we ended up in a dungeon. Or at least I did. They took Lord Capon away. In fact, that's why we're here. We were following von Bergov's trail.
So I've heard. But I'd be interested to know the details. It's been some time since our meeting in Ratai, and now you appear here by the side of a quite unexpected guest.
Unexpected?
An unexpected guess.
Yes, of course, I've heard of Zizka before, and of his unconventional ways of supporting our king. But I don't know where you know him from.
We met outside Trotsky, in rather complicated circumstances. We crossed swords. I can only thank God we didn't kill each other.
And who was giving Zhishka orders? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know if this is correct or not. I'm going to say I don't know, because I don't know.
I have no idea, sir.
That's a pity. I would be very keen to know.
Forgive me, my lord, but how is it possible you don't know? Aren't you all on the same side?
Bear in mind that my dear cousin, His Majesty King Wenceslas, has many supporters, and each of them has their own ideas about how to defend him.
I understand. It seems complicated.
On the contrary, it's all quite simple. If I could get them all together in one banquet hall, give them their fill of wine and venison, they'd come to an agreement on the spot. Let's move on. I heard something about a pillory and poaching. What in God's name did you and Sir Hans get up to?
Instead of messengers, they thought we were beggars.
Things went wrong right from the beginning. We were ambushed, and we lost the letter. Lord Capon and I were lucky to get out of it alive. But no one at Trotsky believed that we were messengers.
Von Berghoff refused to aid a nobleman in need. That seems pretty low for a man of his stature.
Well, to be honest, Lord Capon didn't really look much like a nobleman. We were ambushed while bathing in a pond, and then we fled through the woods. So we really looked like a pair of beggars.
Ah, that must have been a peculiar feeling for
He's
Lord Capon.
laughing at them. Very hard? Sure, let's try it. Not only for Capon.
Not only for him, sir. I may be just a bastard, but that doesn't mean I'm used to begging at castle gates dressed in rags.
Believe me, I didn't intend in the least to make such an insinuation. In any case, are you sure there's nothing else you want to tell me?
Istvan Toth.
Well, you should probably know that Istvan Toth was working for von Berghoff.
Who's he?
One of Sigismund's cronies. He was causing havoc around Ratai.
Ah, yes. Hanush and Radzig mentioned some such person. They even foolishly let him go.
They had to. They gave him their word.
Yes. Well, it's actually quite heartening that some people still have such naive ideas about the world.
Well, no one let him go this time. He's dead.
Very good. From what I've heard, he was a bandit and a cutthroat. There should be no dealings with his ilk.
Sure, let's bring it up.
Isn't Zhishka a bandit too, though?
Zhishka is loyal to Wenceslas. So he's no bandit or cutthroat, but a faithful servant of our king.
Ah, that's how it works.
Carrying out resistance against his enemies. But let's move on. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me?
That's all that happened, sir.
Truly. My court messenger and bearer of tidings, both good and bad, John of Liechtenstein, has mysteriously gone silent. So every piece of information I get now is precious. By the way, you said you were in von Berghoff's dungeon. And I can imagine how they treated you there. Tell me, did you reveal anything?
I betrayed Liechtenstein? No, he didn't say anything. When he was being tortured, he didn't say anything.
I asked questions, yes. But I was counting on that, and prepared myself for it.
How did you prepare yourself?
Well, I mainly told them things I was pretty sure von Berghoff already knew. Like that Radzig is a supporter of Wenceslas, that you and I met in Ratai.
And was he satisfied with that?
Well, I don't think he expected anything more from a simple servant of Lord Capon.
That's true. I must say, Henry, you've pleasantly surprised me. You can keep a cool head as the world around you burns. You'll make it far. Thank you for the news. You're free to go if you want. But I would be glad if you stayed at the fortress. As soon as it's possible, you can join a legation heading for Rattay. I'm sure you already want to go home.
He's trying to get rid of Henry. I am honored, but I can't accept.
Sir, that's a generous offer, and I appreciate it. But it's not what I want.
If you wish to stay and help here, I'll be glad, of course. I need someone to escort my envoys, and you've proven yourself more than capable.
It's Lord Capon, Your Grace. I came to find out where he is, and rescue him.
A noble thought. But you mustn't worry about Lord Capon. I'm sure von Berghoff has him trapped in a gilded cage.
But I made a promise, sir.
I understand, but honestly, Lord Capon is now safer than you or I. The most sensible course now is to wait for the ransom demand.
That is such terrible advice. This dude doesn't care what happens to Hans at all.
Margrave.
Ah, Captain Zizka. Henry and I were just discussing Lord Capon.
Yeah, the Margrave thinks he's in no danger, and we should wait for a ransom demand.
As one does.
I wanted to talk to you about something else. I suppose you're wondering why your friend Hinnek, also known as the Dried Devil, isn't here?
Oh, there's plenty of gossip going on around the fortress. You and Pisek refused to grant him asylum.
Asylum is for those in distress, Captain. Hinnek came to burn and pillage. I have quite different plans.
And what might those be, Margrave? Sitting and talking while King Wenceslas rots in a dungeon. What would I expect? Not so long ago, you were conspiring with Sigismund against Prokop, your own brother.
It would be futile trying to explain to you the intricacies of the Luxembourg's dynastic politics. Let me just explain that that was what was called for in the situation. But I assure you that I am now acting in the best interests of this country. And of King Wenceslas.
You're acting first and foremost in your own interests.
I can believe that.
Everyone knows that.
Strong words coming from a man who earns his bread by killing merchants on the road. No offense intended. I applaud your art. The pen is mightier than the sword, but there are times when it's vice versa. Enter!
All ready to leave now, sir?
Good. It's high time. I expect the captain was about to leave anyway. Are you not?
With pleasure.
And you, Henry?
Me? Well, sir, I made a promise.
I understand. I won't attempt to keep you here by force. But bear in mind, I have concluded a very fragile truce with Sigismund, which gives us time to get ready. And if anyone should disrupt my plans with headstrong acts of violence, there will be consequences. Grave consequences. I consider this matter closed. Farewell and good luck.
Grave consequences.
I get the feeling Yopes didn't make a great impression on you. Are we leaving?
Yeah. And Henry's going with us.
Wait, you'll help me find Capon?
Sure. But we'll need people for that. And information. Catherine, I've got a job for you.
Yes?
Go to Kuttenberg. Find out what happened to Liechtenstein. If anyone knows what's going on in this godforsaken country, it'll be him. In the meantime, we'll go and find Dry Devil and his band.
Good luck. I'd go all the way to Rome to spy if it kept me away from the devil.
Let's go.
There's history there. She doesn't like the Dry Devil, whoever that person is.